I want to fix a couple of things before I add another character model. If I look at the character control, we don't really need to store the prefab as a public variable. Here, this is a prefab in a folder called Collider Edge. Instead of saving it as a public variable, I can just put it into a folder called Resources and then load the object using the name. So I'm going to go into the character control script and first let's get rid of the variable. We don't need it. And if I go down to where the error message is, so instead of using the public variable, because we have it in the resources folder, we can instantiate by using the name. It was called Collider Edge. I think it was just called Collider Edge. Let me make sure that I have the correct name. And we're looking for a game object. And we simply load it. Okay, when we're loading, we also have the position and a 0 rotation. Okay, so let me get rid of this. I'll put an enter here just because it's too long. Save, and if I go back to Unity, so we no longer have the prefab as a variable, but everything should be exactly the same. So if I look at the elf, we see all the spheres, just like before. Okay, and everything should be working the same way. Okay, except we don't have to store the prefab as a public variable anymore. And one more thing. If we do the hammer attack, we have certain objects that gets spawned in real time. We're using a script called SpawnObject. There isn't much I can do to automate this. We're going to need certain position names, like the hammer down position here, or the weapon position. We need these positions so that the script would know exactly where to spawn the object. But I would like to add at least a debug message in the beginning to show what game object or what position that we need. So I'll just say spawning something, spawning the object type. And we're looking for a certain game object in the hierarchy with the name from this variable. So save, and if I click play again, every time we spawn something in the editor we get this message. So we're spawning the hammer and we're spawning it at an object called weapon position. Same thing with the hammer VFX, we're spawning it at the hammer down position. I'm doing this so that when we get an error message, at least we know that we're missing a certain game object named a weapon position or hammer down or whatever, and then we can just create it. So those are pretty much it. Those are the quick fixes. In the next video, I'm gonna add another character model because we have change the character control. I'm guessing the process should be a little easier now. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.